What's up, guys? My name is Victor, and I'm going to tell you today how you can use tarot cards to derive guidance from your higher consciousness, your spirit guides, angels, all that sort of those metaphysical sources of guidance can communicate with tarot cards. Now, I want to say this right off the bat, that the cards themselves don't have any inherent magic within them. It's you. You are the one. So everyone reads cards differently. Again, every single card does have an overall meaning, but oftentimes it's just the cards themselves spark within you an idea or an insight that could have nothing to do with like the literal meaning. So for the cards to work, you must be open to whatever kind of comes to you, basically. And everyone has their own different techniques. I'm going to share with you mine. I don't see anyone else doing this. It might be viewed as like a sloppy way of doing it, but it works for me. Number one, you want to have a very clear question. If you have a very like vague or multifaceted question, it's much more challenging for an answer to come, because it's, you know, what part of your question will be answered, and they're going to probably wonder that, basically. So all I do, and again, this is fucking sloppy, you can talk shit about it if you want, but it works for me. I have a question and I just do this. I just flip through, and usually after a couple seconds, let's see it. Okay, see, even though that happened, this is good. But if you look, this is like this. And I got the Fool card. What that means to me is that you don't have any questions, assholes. So don't abuse the cards. That's my own test, but that's just what I took from it. It's not like the Fool means a lot of things. It means like, you know, you're jumping into the unknown. You're starting a new journey. You have no idea where it's going to be taking you. But to me, and because this kind of popped up funny, it just stuck out to me. So that's the one. That's what I took from it. So oftentimes a card will, let's see if I can get it to do it. Guides, come on, hook it up. Give me, flip a card over like you normally do for me. A lot of times the card will just kind of flip. And usually if it takes this long, that means they're not going to tell me anything. I'm not going to get anything. I just need to fucking wait. So that might be the case here. But oftentimes a card will like get stuck and like flip up perfectly like this, you know, just kind of flip up, and then I'll like, oh, okay. And it depends. Sometimes I'll look up the meaning. Sometimes it'll just like, again, spark an insight. Like I get the Fool card. It was like, don't draw cards now, asshole. You don't have any real questions, kind of thing. But the most important thing is that these cards are meaningless. Whatever comes to you from the cards is the message. Don't overanalyze it. It's basically whatever pops in your head. And again, the way it happens for me is that the magician, see, it's oftentimes a card will just stick out to you. It'll almost like wink at you, kind of like when I get synchronicities, you know, especially like when I see a number on the clock, like 11:11 or 12:12. It's not so much the number. The number almost like blinks, like a pops out at me. My perception temporarily changes, and it's just like I'm like momentarily like hypnotized, like boom, 11:11. Oh, you know, it's not like, oh, 11:11. Oh, this means this. So oh yeah, it's a synchronicity. It's more like buzz. It kind of like, it's stunning, and that's kind of how the cards can be. Some people like to fan the cards, and you may try different techniques. A lot of people just fan the cards like this, and then whatever one pops out to them. This one popped out to me. Boom, Judgment. That's a badass card. That's like awesome shit. That's like almost like the end of the journey. You see everyone celebrating. Whatever. That's a good card to get. Anyway, I digress. So just be open. Point is, you are the magician. You are the master. It's you who is having these psychic insights. It's not the cards, not the type of cards you have. That doesn't mean shit. You could probably do the same thing with a deck of regular cards. It's just they don't have as many different, it's not as heavily layered with meaning. So if you are interested, I encourage you to go and buy a tarot deck and just play around. You might just have to kind of come into your own. I had a tarot deck for years, and just, I don't know, I got it as like a gag gift one time, and it just sat there. And the way I started to actually pay attention to it was, one day I was just flipping through it. This is like before I really was too like involved in like the spiritual awakening process. I wasn't too much into it. And I was flipping cards, and I got like the same card a couple times in a row, and I thought that was really interesting. I was flipping through it one day, then like the next day I was flipping through them again, and I got the same card. I go, oh wow, what are the odds, you know? And then like a few days later, my daughter was fucking around with the cards, and she like picked up that same card and brought it and handed it to me. So that was like, oh wow. And then from that point forward, I started just flipping through the cards when I had questions, and the preciseness of the cards that would come through was just mind-boggling to me. So that happened, and it allowed me to kind of have faith in that there's something to these cards. The cards for me are just a source of guidance. A lot of times the idea is to discover all these different lessons and directions to take on your path on our own. And if I found that if I abuse the cards and I like use them all the time for every little stupid thing, I don't get anything. But when I really need it, when I truly need some guidance, the cards typically help. And when they don't, I know that's because they don't. It's something I needed to discover on my own. So good luck. I wish you well with the cards. Again, it's just a permission slip. It's just a source. It's just a tool. There's nothing inherently powerful about them, but you are the one who is inherently powerful and can use them to reflect that truth to yourself and provide you with insight.